Greetings, salutations, well wishes. I haven't talked to you guys in a while. It's been really, really busy the last 2 weeks. So, a couple of updates, things that you guys should know before we get into it. This is a dual Should You Pull video, one for Mermaid Sorcerer and one for the upcoming camp, which I believe is tomorrow. So I will be leaving this out tonight. So, mostly because we didn't do Pinot Breaker because meh, and we were both insanely busy. So a couple other things. So POKELABO, and they are going through and possibly selecting some of the content creators to do a little Q&A with Katsuhira-san and all of them. So that'll be really cool. I think everybody's a little excited about that. So we're inputting questions and see what gets out. I'm not going to ask if Aladdin's coming out soon because I'm tired of you. Like, I respect it, but I'm tired of you. You know who you are. I'm just saying that out loud. So, we also have an updated link for the Google Doc for March. So, it has been swapped over. It's just updated, so you should be able to enter the new one and get put in for crystals. Supposedly, this is getting revamped, and you may actually receive crystals in the future for doing the survey, along with being entered in. But that's something that the devs are trying to figure out what the most not cheesy way of doing it is. If we may institute having hiding codes in videos or doing something like that. We haven't. There hasn't been like a whole lot of like, you know, let's figure it out and go. But so let's get to the should you pull. So first up is the Mermaid Sorcerer. I like the one piece. The cat suit's pretty sweet. It's what you would kind of expect for a Sorc. Like the Arcana's extra HP, so it's fine, and then it's 100 of everything else. So not too terrible. It actually, she's got like this cool kind of, like it looks like a trench coat kind of thing looking for her model, so that's pretty sweet. So the Book of Misery is a tier 4 reduced physical defense by a massive amount. Support boon 2. Sorry, man, that was weird. So it's a support boon 2 book, but it's not a step. So I don't necessarily know if this is a good one to go for. If you went really hard on the spec banner, you probably have enough medals to kind of lean in. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. At 80, it's 5,400 stats. I think it only changed very, very slightly in global. No, these are the global stats. Oh, poopy. So what was it in? Oh, this one got buffed. So, yeah, at max limit break, it's got like 800 odd stats, and it got bumped up to support boon 2 instead of 1. So, yeah, this is a strict upgrade from the original. I still don't know. 5,400 stats at level 80 is pretty good, and that's a lot of magic and physical attack. Like, that's a lot. So, I think for Sorcs, if you can pity the book, it might be worth it. Obviously wait till the end of the month so we know if anything else is coming out, because we do have a medal event coming out tomorrow, and then we've got some more stuff coming out next week before we start wrapping up the medals for the month, so keep an eye on it. We've got the Great Crescent Moon. This one does upgrade to an LL, so at level 80L it's got 5,100 stats. It looks like this one didn't change from JP, it's just when it goes to LL it gets upgraded. So it's 1 to 2 enemies and increases your own magical defense by a small amount, and it's replenish magic 2, so it has a chance to reduce your SP consumption. Fine. I like it, but I don't know if it's worth going in on, mostly because the camp spear is on a step up and it might be slightly better. So we've got 5,200 stats. It's got a decent amount of magic attack. It's got a lot of physical attack on it though, so maybe not so much. The Solar Summon Staff goes up to L. They're double L. It's got 2 allies by a tier 3. Eventually it gets recovery support, 5,000 stats. I don't know how I feel about this one. Like, we're pretty sure LLs are a year and a half off, if we get that far, so I don't like telling people future-proofing is great if it doesn't do you any good now. Like, if you pull it, great, but if you don't, whatever. It's in the pool forever, so. So yeah, I'm very mediocre on the Sorcerer banner outside of the book, just because the book got buffed quite a bit. Even its base stats, it went from 4,800 to 5,400 at 80. Like, that's a significant chunk of change just for a stat investment. So maybe pity it, but wait till the end of the month. I don't think it's worth pulling on the banner specifically, just because I don't like the other two, and unless you're really looking for 2 of the 3, it's probably not worth it. So that's the overall for the Mermaid Sorc banner. Going into camp. So this is the spring event we will be getting. As a heads up, we're actually getting this one kind of early, so normally we would have gotten the Sin classes, which are the elemental classes, before these. So we're getting them a little early, all things considered. So we've got Minstrel Alice. She's got her cute little her guitar. Same thing that you would expect. The cool one about this is her level 12 Arcana actually bumps up your magic attack by 350, so you get 450 magic attack out of this one, which is pretty good. It's also a very interesting instrument. So the stats are mediocre. It maxes out at 6,600. It starts at 5,100. But it's got Sage's Gospel, which is magic attack and magical defense of 2 allies by a moderate amount. It's also support boon 1, which is better than not, but still interesting. So if you are almost nothing but magic attack and you are running up against a lot of magic attackers, which is kind of split now since we have Crusher and Breaker should be out by the next Grand Callo. I don't 100% think that this has an insane amount of value as compared to the others, at least. I like it, but I don't know. Like, my entire team is magic attack, so it would do me good. But this is one of those you kind of have to look at and figure out if the investment is actually there for you. We've got Briar Rose. We've got Sleeping Beauty. This is actually a kind of a cool, like, little outfit she's got. It's like a backpack of her demon, which is neat. Same thing you would expect out of any other paladin. You've got 700 magic attack and a little bit of magic defense, a couple HP, so it's a step-up banner on camp, so you may have some actual value coming out of this one for you to accomplish. Like, this is something you might want to check into. The weapon is a DC 1 Fire Spear. Now, the thing that people don't realize, and this is actually pointed out to me, there aren't that many fire spears floating around, and there are less usable ones. So there are a handful of them, but there are very few DC 1, DC 2s. So this being on a step banner and going up to 6,600 stats, not too bad. And that's if these don't get buffed. I do not believe they do, because they've... let me see. I'll go ahead and look at it just in case, because I do believe they have... it's on the dev notes, but let me make sure. The last time I checked it, I seem to recall these being very, very similar in stats. If not exactly the same. Alright. 6613, same thing. Dauntless Courage 1, Inferno of Exorcism 3. Yep, so none of that's different. The only downside is it's pretty close in physical and magic attack. I wish it had a little more magic attack on it, but I guess if you're getting the class anyway, it's not as big a stretch, and it being a step banner like this is actually pretty good. So if you're looking for classes, there are 3 out of 4 classes on this banner, and that's if it doesn't get split. I don't think it will, but don't take that as anything that means anything at this point in the game. Everything is subject to change. So not too bad. You've got Dorothy camp. I actually I like Dorothy's my chick, so I'm all about this outfit. She's dressed for a casual getaway. She's got the slick snapback going on. Decent stats, so a lot of magical defense on this one. So it's 350 at Arcana 12, so that puts you up at 450 for it. It's an interesting looking sprite. We've got the lamp carrying staff, which has got a cool look to it. So it's 5,100 at 80. It has a chance. So this is where you start seeing this style of weapon. So you heal up to 2 by a great amount of HP. So it's a tier 3 heal. So it's 1.5 targets. So every time you use it, from the beginning of Callo to the 5-minute mark, you recover 8 SP every time you use it. So it actually costs 10 SP to cast it. It's very interesting. And we will start seeing timing-based weapons coming out around this time. So like weapons that are stronger in the first couple of minutes or weapons that are stronger in the last couple of minutes, which is where a lot of the grid swaps are coming from. I am working on a grid swap video because there seems to be a lot of kind of confusion. I had Fort record his grid swaps just because as a Vanguard they make a little more sense, but I can give you an idea of other ones as well. So I'm going to be narrating that video, probably coming out tomorrow. So I know I've said that already, but things got very, very busy, so I do apologize about that. So the staff itself is pretty good. I actually really like this staff. I don't know if... So there's a Fire Sword. It's a Replenish Magic 2, Tier 4, 5100 stats at level 80. It does LL eventually, which is fine. I'm not telling you to pull on this one. Oh, wait, we're missing something. There is a... I knew that was it. We're missing a Nightmare that is on the... There she is, Dark Ashes Zoo. So she is the pullable one on the Mermaid Sorc banner. So she has, you greatly raise physical defense for all surviving frontline allies. It's 80-second prep time, 0 SP. It's a tier 3, so it's a massive. And at level 80, she's got 5,300 stats. She's pretty even across the board, so she's a decent stat stick. She also has my favorite one, which is 1,337, so all you elite boys can get out there and get doing what you want. Yeah, sorry about that. I should have put that in there. It doesn't really change the fact that you probably shouldn't pull on the banner. But in case you do get the Nightmare, it's not an absolute loss unless your team is, you know, you're not worried about physical defense, in which case, I'm sorry you pulled it. So, back to the camp banner. So, overall, it being a step banner, and 2, us having a medal event coming out pretty much at the exact same time, and 3, there being 3 classes on this banner. I think most people that can afford to go into it at least for one step probably should. The classes alone have a lot of value, but 2 of the weapons, being the spear and the staff, are actually pretty good. Like, I do like the instrument, but you have to gauge sort of how useful that is for you and your guild. This is one of those banners that's like, it's not a must pull, but if you find yourself lacking in stat classes, this will give you a little bit of an edge, especially if you're a buffer or a debuffer. Consider it, think about it. That's it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. It's nice talking to you guys again. I miss you guys. I really do. I get so busy, and I've been jumping between contracts recently, so I'm all over the place, but I'm glad you guys are here. I hope everybody's doing okay.